guys? Am I audible?
Yes, Soundarya.
Okay. So what we saw in our previous class, I mean our yesterday's class. What happened, guys? What we saw in our yesterday's class.
Kind of variables.
Okay. Then we also saw about a method call, right? So in method call, if I want to call a non-static method inside my static method, then I need to create an object. Let me share my screen. I think it's sharing already. Okay. Mm, where is that? Okay. So this is my non-static method. I have not used any keyword called static. So it is called a non-static method or instance method. Here, this is a static method. If I want to call my non-static method inside the static method, then definitely I need to create an object. So here we are creating an object by using the class name, and then to print the output, I'm just writing system.out.println. As it is an instance, we need to call by object name dot. If there is a variable, then we need to use a variable name. If it's a method, we are using method name. So if I want to call a static method inside another static method, then I no need to create an object. I can call my static method directly. For example, mm, so if I want, so this example is a static method, and then this example one is also another static method. If I want to call this static method inside another static method, then I no need to create an object. Directly I can call that method by that name. Okay, here what's happening? First, I have written a non-static method, and then this non-static method is called in my main method. Called in my main method in line number 24. So I got an output like hello. later in line number 10, I have created a static method with output hello. Later, this static method is called in another static method by only the method name. So in my method, I am just calling this example one. So what will happen? This example one will be executed. So example one here I have value like hi. Okay. So this hi is printed. So after executing this line number 15, in line number 16 we are calling again the example static method. So after finish in executing this line, then later it will move to this line number 16 and then here it will call example method. So later it will move to this example method and then it will execute my output as hello. Okay, guys. Okay. So here I'm writing the method logic at first for this non-static method. But while I'm writing, while I'm calling the method, I'm just calling this method at last. So only I'm getting the output at last. So wherever we can write our method logic in our code. But method calling is very important. I mean, the order of output depends on the order of the method call. If I call my method at first, then it will execute first. If I call my method at last, then it will execute my output at last. Okay, guys, did you understand this? Okay, now let's move to the next topic, like as we discussed yesterday. Sorry, guys, you have any doubts? I think someone told me something. Shall we move to next topic, guys?
Yes, Sandhya.
Okay. Okay, while discussing about static and then instance and then local variable, we came a keyword like called stack memory, heap memory, and then class level memory. So for where is that? Let me open that. Mm, okay, for local variable, it is stored in the stack memory. For instance variable, it is stored in the heap memory. For static variable, it is stored in the class level area. So this class level area memory is nothing but it is present in the JVM. Whenever a class is created and we are creating a static method means the or static variable, then a special memory is allocated in class level area for static variable. It is present inside the JVM. Okay. For a local and instance variable, there are two types of memory called stack memory and heap memory. So stack memory is nothing but okay. It is just to store the simple values. For example, the method calls. The whole method will not be stored here. Only the method calls will be stored in the stack memory. And then the local variable. And then the references. So here the references means whenever we are creating an object, definitely a memory will be allocated for that object. So for each memory, there will be like a memory address. Memory address is nothing but just the location of the memory. Like our laptop has a IP address, right? The same thing for storing an object, a memory location or a memory address will be created. That memory address will be stored in this reference variable or in these references. So in stack memory, only that local variable and then method calls and then references of the object or the memory location of the object will be stored here. Here the memory is managed by the last in, first out structure. I mean, for example, if we take a box, okay, a short a narrow rectangular box, and just adding some balls inside that. I'm adding 10 balls. So if I want to take out of the balls one by one means, then the ball which I had added at last, which I have added at last, has to be taken first. This is a concept. The things which we are adding at last will be taken first to remove all the objects from that box. So here also the memory is managed by the same order, like last in, first out order. The variable which is stored at last will be removed first. It's like that concept. So whenever a method finishes, then the lifetime for this memory will be finished. And then the scope is only to the current method because local variable is present only inside the method. Whenever the method ends, then the lifetime for that local variable will also end. So it is just limited to the current method only. And then for while adding the local variable in the stack memory or to remove that from the stack memory, it won't require any complex pattern. It require only simple pattern to add that variable or to remove that variable. As it requires only simple pattern, the speed will be fast to add and to remove that variable from the memory. So here the primitive data types and then the object references will be stored here. So what is primitive data type? Like a string, integer, byte, boolean, etc. These are all primitive data types. These are all stored in the stack memory. And then object references also stored in the stack memory. So object references means whenever I'm creating an object, the memory address or the location of the object will be stored in a variable called reference variable. That reference variable will be present only in the stack memory. So only the location will be stored in the stack memory. The exact or the whole object will be stored in the heap memory. Okay, guys. So in heap memory, we are just going to store the objects under the instance variable. Here local variable, here it is going to be instance variable. So here the memory is managed by the garbage collector. So garbage collector is nothing but it is present in the JVM. Okay. Whenever I'm creating an object and then I'm just having some values like color, year, brand, etc. If I have values, then I can able to access that value. If I'm assigning value equal to null, or I'm just creating an object, I'm not assigning any value or assigning a value equal to null, then what happens? The reference object will not be there. As there is no reference object or reference variable, the object will be removed automatically by this garbage collector, which is present in Java. So if we see the lifetime means the object remain until no references exist. For example, if the references were removed completely, or if there is no references in the stack memory, then the object will be removed completely by the garbage collector. So using that reference variable, we can able to access the object from anywhere. Here it involves some complex memory pattern to add and to remove that object in memory. So the speed will be slower when compared to stack memory. Here we are just storing objects under their instance variable. This is what I'm giving in the table column. So here structure is last in, first out. Here the structure will be random. For example, the objects are not going to store in a sequential order. It may store in any order. So it is stored in the random order and then it is managed by the garbage collector. It's going to store the object and instance variable. Here it's going to store the local variable, method call, and then object reference. It is limited to the method, but using that reference variable present in the stack memory, we can able to access the object from anywhere. Whenever the method ends, the lifetime for the stack memory will also end. It is a temporary. So here, if the reference end, then the lifeline ends. So here it is faster, it is slower. It is managed by the JVM directly, but it is managed by the garbage collector, which is there in Java. So class level memory is entirely different. It is present in JVM. So whenever you are creating a static variable, a class level memory will be allocated along with the class. Okay. Okay, guys, this is the difference between stack memory, heap memory. Do you have any doubt, guys, in this concept? Guys, if you have any doubt, please ask me. Shall we move to next concept?
Yes, Andrea.
Okay. Now we are just going to see an example for the object and then how we are going to initialize the object. Okay. So initializing is nothing but just assigning a value to an object. Here it can be done by three types, like by using the reference variable, by using the method, and by using the constructor. So using these three types, we can assign value to the object or we can initialize the object. Okay, so in SRC, I'm going to create, okay, objects is created, right? Okay, I'm going to create a class. Hmm. What name can keep? Okay, first you see about the constructor. Okay, types constructor means the types of the constructor we are going to see. So here we have three types, like we have many types like copy constructor, chaining constructor, and then a parameterized constructor, no argument constructor, default constructor. Mostly we will use default constructor or chaining. Yes, everything is important. Now we are just going to see default constructor. Okay. So this is my class name. My class name is going to be types constructor. And then here I have a main method. Okay. Before that, let's take a simple example related to class and object. What example we can take? Can take a car example itself. Okay. So I'm going to create a class called car with a class keyword. And then here I am going to store some values like integer year. I mean the manufacturing year. And then color. So these are the variables which are going to be present in my object. Integer here and then string color. And in the class may also have methods. Okay. So here I'm going to create a method called display. Or display, or we can use a start, because start method is nothing but to start the car. We are writing the start method. So inside that method, I'm writing the car is started. And then I'm creating one more variable called static integer tires equal to 4. So here what's happening? I'm creating two variable as an instance variable. This year and color is going to be my instance variable, and this is my static variable. If I create static variable throughout my program, it's going to have the same value. Even though if I'm creating many objects, the value for this won't be changed. It's going to be same throughout my program. As I'm using the instance variable like year and color according to my need or according to my object, I can able to change the value of the year and color. So I'm just using instance variable for that. And then I'm creating a method called start. So inside that start, I don't want to return anything other than this print. So I'm using a void. You can use any access modifier like public. It's your wish. If I don't use anything, then it is called as a default access modifier. Okay. Now, to access that value, I need to create an object. So here my object name is BMW. This is going to be my object name. So here, this is the variable, I mean object name or the variable. I mean it is called as a reference variable. We saw in heap memory and then stack memory, right? Here using a new keyword, an object is created and then this BMW refers to the reference variable. So the value which I am storing or which I am entering here will be stored into this reference variable BMW And whenever I'm calling this reference variable BMW, I'm just getting an output. So here this is a reference variable. Okay. So that is called object name. So car BMW equal to new car. I need my constructor here. So my constructor name should be same as my class name. Okay. I need to call this variable and then method. Then only I can able to get my output. So BM okay. As this is non-static method, I mean this is instance method. I have not used any keyword called static. So this is instance method. For instance, I need to create an object and I need to call it by using object name dot that method name. So BMW, sorry guys. Okay, once again. Once again, guys. Okay, can anyone please share your screen? I have some issue with my laptop. Can anyone please share your screen so that I can instruct you who is going to share your screen? Okay.
This is
Okay, Sabrina, then what happened?
this visible?
Sorry, I was in mute and I was speaking for a long time. Okay, you can share your screen.
Is this visible? No?
Yeah, your screen is visible. Okay, just open your Eclipse. Your screen is visible.
Can I open? Paste.
Yeah. Mm, I mean, your screen is blank. I don't know why it's black.
Now what is visible?
Yeah, it's visible now. Okay. Oh, you are using VS Code to do,
Yeah,
I mean,
please.
to practice your code. Okay. How you are running and compiling your Java program?
Just a VS Code itself.
Okay. Okay. You create a package called object. Just in your sidebar,
Okay.
create a package.
Separately.
New package called, yeah, separately.
Okay. What is the
Uh, like object. Is there package?
Check the folder we need to create it, or else
Okay. So while you are using VS Code to create a package, just press I mean we need to create a package and then inside the package only we need to create a class, right?
but
How you
here
are
we
doing
can
this much?
example will show you the code actually.
Okay.
Just we are using this means just I will simply compile the code.
Okay.
I have downloaded the Eclipse, but I think so it's not installed.
Sabrina, then can you please explain how you are doing? Okay, you can do the project according to you, and then if there is any mistake, then let me rectify it. Okay. So
Okay.
how you are doing? How you are
Just
creating
I'm
a
creating a file with the extension of Java. Just in that I have mentioned the on class. Inside the class I have mentioning the main method, and just I give the compile run the Java means it will automatically compile the code and it give you the result.
okay. Okay, can you please mm, okay, can you please print numbers from 1 to 5 and run us run that code for us?
Okay. Can you please? Hello.
Yeah. Sorry. I
Yeah.
wasn't on mute. Okay, this is how you are doing this message. Okay. If you want to create package, then how will you create a package here? Do you have any idea? Like
Just
how to
we are
create?
using folder. Inside the folder,
Okay.
we are creating this files. Like package name is variables. So inside that, creating this like
Object or something. So you're
yeah,
creating a package name as a folder. This is
yeah,
what you are doing, right?
yeah.
Okay. But there is another method to create a package and then to create a class. Okay. Let me guide you for that. Okay. Mm, let me share my screen.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, using VS Code is your wish. Is no problem. Let me share my screen. And then in VS Code, I will be creating an package here. So this is my uh, project. And then if I want to create a package, okay, first I need to install Java here by using command plus shift plus P. So I need to create a Java project. Later, by creating a Java project, then all this SRC folder and then library folder will be created automatically. So in SRC folder, I need to create a package. So just right click your SRC folder and then new Java package, and then there it will ask your package name. So we can enter the package name. And then later inside this package, if I want to create a class, then just right click the package and then just click the new Java file, and then we can create a class. So here um, I'm just creating the whole Java project by default. I'm not prior at earlier. So what happened? That SRC folder and then that library folder or in my VS Code by default. Okay. So the thing which you are using is also right. So this is another method for you to learn. Okay. Just learn this method also. Okay, Sabrina then.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, and then if I want to run my program, so okay, guys, this is for you all. Okay, just listen that we can also create in that VS Code. Sabrina then has created this project in VS Code. So here, if I want to compile my Java program, then I need to use JAVAC, Java compiler, and then followed by my package name. Okay, followed by my package name and then my class name dot Java. So after compiling, I need to run my Java program. So for that, I need to type Java and then my package name dot my class name. So if I do like this, then my programs will be compiled, and then if there is error while compiling, it will show me an error. If there is no error, then my program will be running successfully, and I will get my output in terminal. Okay.
Sanjay, sorry for the interruption. You're showing ID.
No. I'm just
Okay.
not sharing anything.
Okay.
Okay. Once again, guys. Okay, I will be back. Okay. Is my screen visible, guys?
Yes.
Okay. So we will discuss about this later. Let me complete this. Okay. So to call that method, then I need to call by object name dot my method name. So here my method name is start. If I run this, I'm just getting my output as the car is started. So here it is called as a default constructor. I have not used any constructor yet. So using constructor is nothing but just writing constructor here and then passing some values. If I do this method, then this is called as a creating constructor and then passing values. But here I have not used any steps like that. So here this is called as a default constructor. If I want to get that value, then I need to call my object name dot my variable name. But here it's just showing me some error. Okay, why I'm getting an error here? I'm just calling my method name directly, but whenever I'm trying to get that variable, I'm just getting an error like syntax error. Insert variable declarators to complete local variable declaration. Why I can't able to access this variable? Let me share this code in chat and then search in online that what is the reason why I can't able to get this year and then color. Why is
This is
showing
another
me?
class. And
Okay,
also we not mention the static in that variables.
okay. So what I have to do now? So what I have to do to get my output?
We need to declare static in the variables.
But I don't want the static because that value has to be changed for each and every object according to my need. I want that to be in an instance. This is my condition. I want my variable to be in instance. If I want to access that, how can I? So the code I gave you, just search in online. How can I
So
able to access this variable?
we need to pass some data to the year. Like we only declared, but not assign any value.
Okay. Here I have assigned value like integer year equal to 2017. And then here also I'm just calling my object name. My object name is BMW. As this is instance, I need to create an object dot my variable name year. Okay. Still I'm getting that same error. What could be the reason? Just search in online.
We need to mention the access modifier.
Okay, where?
For that int year.
Mm,
I don't know it's correct or wrong.
okay, let us check. Okay, it's not a no problem. Everything is like a learning, trial and error. Because while trial and error, we will come to know, okay, these are the methods which we have done wrong. So these are all methods we should not follow hereafter. So we will get an idea about that. So just tell me your idea. What is the reason? Even though if it's right or wrong, it's no problem. We are just learning here by trial and error. Okay, this is the error. I am getting exactly. I am pasting this error in group. I mean chat. So for this problem, I am getting an error like this. What could be the reason?
So assigning of the value is the issue. So after calling, we have to assign the data. Initially, we have to pass the data. It is wrong. So after
Okay.
calling, we have to pass the data instead of
Okay, then
yeah,
where?
from here. Yeah,
Okay, now what
we
I
need to
have
pass
to
the
do
data.
now?
Equal to 2017.
Okay, if I want to get this value here, then what I have to do? I have run my program. I have not given any print statement, so it's not printing my output. The error is solved, but the output is not shown. So what I have to do now?
Add a system data out at println. In that we have to pass that.
Okay. Okay, so we got an output. Can you explain why I can't able to assign the value here in line number 5? What is the reason? What could be the reason? Thing which you told is right, but we need to know the answer. Why I can't able to get the output when I assign value in line number 5? Just search in online, guys. What could be the reason? Have you searched that answer? What is the reason? Use online resources. Use any AI because we are learning. So for learning purpose, we can use AI.
If we mention the value, it's not if we mention the static, it won't changeable. If we not mention that value in that variable, we can reusable for any classes.
Okay. Is this the answer? Have you searched it in online?
No, but I won't. Maybe it's correct or wrong. I don't.
Okay. Um, okay. Yes, the value is changing, but my question is, uh, for to get the value changing, we are using that instance variable. But why, if I'm typing any variable or a value here, why I can't able to get my value? That is my exact question. Why I can't able to assign value here?
So we are using the constructor right, and that 10th line.
Okay.
And there is a constructor, right?
No. This is not a constructor. This
It's
is
a method.
just a method. Yeah.
Okay.
So a class can have variable and methods. So this is a variable and then this is a method which is present inside the class, not a constructor. So if I'm using constructor, then my constructor name should be same as my class name, but this name is different. So this is not a constructor. And then constructor don't return anything. We won't use any keyword called void or any data type. We don't use any data type or void for constructor. I will be just calling my constructor like this. This is going to be my constructor. But here I have used a void and then the name is differ. So this is not a constructor. And then yesterday I asked you a question, right, guys? Can we able to use instance variable in static method, or can we able to use that static variable inside my instance method? Have you searched it in online? Okay, take that question as a task, and then take this question also as your task, and then I want an answer in tomorrow's class. That why I can't able to assign any value in line number 5, and then
Hello, ma'am.
can I
Excuse
if
me.
someone
You should remove that public, ma'am.
okay it's not problem. I have removed public. Hmm. See, I have removed a value like
Public
I have
and
removed a keyword called public. Yes, tell me.
let it be, ma'am. And downside here, BMW starts. Is there no, ma'am? That you should remove and insert there here, ma'am.
Okay, if can you please tell me what I have to do now exactly in which line number? So tell me the line number and then tell me what I have to do.
22, ma'am. Line number.
Okay, in 22, what I have to do? And do I need to remove this or do I need to write inside
Yes, ma'am.
another method?
BMW dot yes.
Okay, BMW dot. Okay, mm, can you please come? I mean, tell again like
Yes, ma'am.
BMW
Uh,
dot.
start is there no, ma'am? You should remove that start, ma'am.
Okay, then what I
Then
have to do
yeah, right there here, ma'am.
here?
Year is equal to 2017.
Okay, this is what I'm asking you. If I enter an year in my object, I can able to get my output. But when I'm entering the year in line number 5, why can't I get my output? Why can't I able to access that year? For example, year equal to 2105, and then I'm just removing this. I want to get my output. I want to print this year. So for method, we have done the same thing like object name. I mean here, yeah, object name dot that method name. Here method name is start. We have used this step and I got an output like the car is started. But when I follow the same step to get my year, it's just showing me an error. But when I assign the value directly in line number 22, I don't get any error. So what is the reason why I can't able to get that value when I assign the value yearly? This is the exact question.
Do you want to assign some variable for that line 22, like int a is equal to BMW dot year?
Mm, no, it's not like that. If it's, then tell me why. Why we are assigning a variable?
Because that one is returning some value, and it's not that we are not assigning any variable to hold that value.
Mm, okay, now let me run this.
But I can able to get the output and while we are using the top of the class.
Okay, can you able to get the output?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, then what is the reason why I can't get the output?
That's why I will share my screen.
Yeah, you can share your screen. I think someone told to assign a variable, right? Yes, we will
So,
discuss that also.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, well, it's not. Hello, public static void main. Okay, that chat. Okay. Yep, it's okay.
it's a plus. This is my calculation. So I'm calling here. So I have assigned the value here itself, but I'm getting the
Okay.
so
Okay.
if there is
Then what
any
could be the reason? So what you've done is exactly right. This is the thing which I have done in my same laptop. Like in my laptop, this is a code I have done. Then what could be the reason why I can't get output?
so no idea about it.
Okay. Okay, just search in online.
Okay.
Uh, just search in online. I'm using the same code in Eclipse, but why can't I get any output? I'm just getting an error. Just ask this question in any AI and then give that error. I mean, paste that error in AI and get the answer. Okay.
Yeah, okay, okay, sure.
Let's check whether it's differing from platform to platform or whether is there any defect in my code or is there any problem while there is compiling my Java code or let us see what is the exact reason. Okay. And then Diana, yes,
Yeah, please.
you're the one who told this method, right? Like we need to create a variable.
Yeah.
Okay, can you please explain?
Because we are getting like BMW dot year returning some value, we want to store that in one variable.
Okay, but what I'm asking is this year is a variable where I'm assigning that value. So if I want to print that year, why can't I use my variable name as such? Because Sabrinathan has done the same method. But when I'm trying to do that, I'm getting an error. So here itself we are assigning value. Sorry, assigning value to the variable called year. Then I can use that variable in my print statement also. Again, why we need to create a variable? Okay, whatever it is. Why when I'm getting an answer when I create a variable? So this is very simple concept. But when we are trying to solve, we are just getting many solutions to a simple problem. And then it's running very good in a VS Code. But in Eclipse, I'm just facing some error. So there are little bit confusions. So this is how you guys have to work actually. You need to try many methods. Okay, so tomorrow I want two answers. One is for why I can't get a year directly as a Sabrinathan, and then year is also a variable. Why can't I able to get my answer when I'm trying to call that year directly? This is going to be my second question. And then my third question is, can I able to use static variable inside my instance method, and then can I able to access my instance variable inside my static method? So this is the question you are going to answer me tomorrow. Okay, guys. So after completing the answers, we are going to continue our session. Like no default, default constructor, no argument constructor, and then a parameterized constructor. We are going to discuss about these topics in our tomorrow's session. So I have completed that default constructor. I have not used that default constructor. I have not used any constructor name here. So here it is called as a default constructor. The Java will consider it as a default. There is a constructor. So it will consider it as a default, and then it will show my output. So let's see what is happening tomorrow. Okay, guys. So don't forget to search answer and then come with answers tomorrow. Okay, guys. We can wind up our session.
Yeah.